A long time since I posted a video. This is a new project I'm working on. Bought this boat 6 years ago, finally getting into the restoration on it. It's a 1989 Baretta Phaser 230, 23 foot. Had a 350 Chevrolet in it, Volvo Penta dual prop, I think a DPA. The engine was originally an AQ 231A. Since I don't know if that's what I pulled out of it or not. It was in pretty bad shape. The risers were uncapped. They had cans on the top of them, but the cans had fallen off or gotten moved by animals or something, and well, it took a lot of water on the cylinders. So that engine's shot. Right there lies a new 320 horsepower 350 from Rapido Marine, and I think it was down in Miami Beach, Florida. Raul was pretty good to talk to. Hooked me up on that. So this is what I've been doing. Excuse the shop mess. It is a mess right now. I need to really do a lot of work on that. Probably need to learn how to use this camera and slow down a little bit too. So found a soft spot in the floor when I originally got this thing, and I got it for pretty cheap. My buddy and his dad had bought it as a project, and they'd actually had the cap pulled on it, and all this stuff that I just tore out had been done at one point about say 8 or 10 years ago. And in the middle of their project, his father passed away, and he just about a year later just couldn't deal with it. So I got it for a pretty good steal. Love the way the boat looks. Needed a little bit of work. Had a bunch of stuff, new parts with it that we'll get to eventually, but found the soft spot in the floor. And when I went to, after we pulled the motor, which the bilge looks great. Unfortunate part is absolutely no drainage of anything up front back to the bilge to where it could get pumped out. So somewhere along the lines, water got underneath it. A lot of the deck that I pulled out, all in this area, up to about that very front, just that very front where the ski locker is, and that was covered in. That actually, I could tell, had resin underneath the floor. And if you, I don't know if you can tell from the video or not from here, but the deck is actually in decent shape right there, although it looks like it's got some delamination on the maybe a little bit of delam coming up on over here in a couple of spots, but that may just be from the stress because it looks like it's popped up. Who knows? I'm hoping not to pop the cap off of it, but I just dug this stuff out today, cut the rest of this floor out, and there's water in it. So my guess is I'm probably going to have to now pull the cap and redo it all again. Got water up in here. This is the worst of the rot I've found so far, and really the rest of it, it's black. You can see it's black, and they used some pretty good, I don't know what that is, if that's roving or what, but they tapped them in. The stringer's in pretty decent, and they did cover this with resin, but they didn't put any glass over it. So I don't know if any of it's salvageable. I might try to salvage it and glass over it, but I'm probably going to end up having to pull all of it out, I guess. So I'll get some more. Got to get some more cut out over here where my shop vac is. Get the back end of that. The motor mounts seem okay, and everything in the bilge seems okay. What I originally did after this is where the fuel tank sits, and it is right here. It's a dirty mess. It was supposedly cleaned and tested before it was put back in, but from the looks of it, it wasn't cleaned. So I'm going to clean it, try and find a place to take it and get it pressure tested, get that sending unit checked out, see if that's all good. But there were no drainage holes anywhere in any of these compartments. And I've seen that a lot on boats. I've watched hundreds of hours of YouTube videos boating, Frisco Boater. I think I've watched every one of his on his I think 3 restorations, a couple of Carlsons, and the the Blue Bayou, whatever that was, Sea Ray. Been looking forward to the Scimitar if he ever gets that going. Hope he does. Him, Boatworks Today. There's several others. So I've watched hundreds of hours over the last 5 years, 6 years, in preparation for this. So I hope I can figure out know what I'm doing. But I've seen a lot of them sealed. And if it's, if you do it right, I guess that's okay. It looks like the top of this deck had maybe one layer of chop strand mat on it, glassed in. So if that's the case, it should have been fairly waterproof. 2 would be better, and that's what I will do eventually, is 2, and I'll do at least 1 on the bottom side. So I don't know if there were some penetrations somewhere. If there were, I didn't notice any again, but it was all just deck. And these guys that did this, I think this is all rubberized undercoating. I'm not 100% sure yet. I might know more when I put a grinder to it, see if it rubbers up, but I don't know. It's hard to tell. Can't tell if it's a black gel coat or if it's a rubberized undercoating, but everywhere they had the plugs in the floor, like this spot right here, they just gooped over some of this black stuff and covered the holes. So that was everywhere, and there were 2 in each of these compartments, one to pour the foam and one for the escape, the air to escape out. So I don't know what that was, but the floor didn't look great. But it appeared to me to be watertight, but that's pretty evident that it was not. So I have no idea where the penetrations were, and I guess it doesn't really matter, because I got to redo the boat. So I don't know, from time to time I will post a little more on this and see how it goes from there. Take care.